Hi, good afternoon. My name is Tang Xiao, and my metro number is 195442. Today I'm going to introduce the lesson plan of writing skills. Okay, the class is Form 3 students and the attendance is 47. What's more, the level of the students is intermediate level. So this lesson plan is written based on the intermediate level, and the subject is English. In this lesson plan, I didn't use the textbook. Here is the main skill focus. It is teach students a technique to write by questions. And the theme is my favorite sports. So in this lesson plan, students are able to describe their favorite sports. The topic is the application and the integration in writing. The grammar that students need to use in this lesson plan is simple future tense, like I'm going to do what, I'm going to have a class tomorrow, such like this. What's more, the content standard is communicate information, ideas, opinions, and feeling intelligibly on formulous topics. However, students are able to improve their speaking skills because they have to share their ideas with the class or their group members. So it is not only the writing class but also the speaking class, so that students could communicate or chat with their classmates fluently in their daily life. And our learning objectives is by the end of the class, students will be able to understand the general content of the writing topic and understand some writing skills as well as few grammar tips. Like I mentioned before, is simple future tense. And last, students need to write their own short essay in the while writing stage based on the taught skills, so that the teacher could evaluate them. Like teachers can check their essays to know whether they understand the class or whether they understand what teachers say in the class. And by the end of the lessons, students will be able to complete a short essay based on the given keywords and improve the accuracy of language in writing, because students need to rewrite their essay after teacher gives clues. So there will be two short essays. One is the draft, one is the complete one, so that students could compare their differences between them. And I choose a very interesting topic, sports. Many low-grade students are interested in these sports because they are active in the sports class, or they are very motivating. The thinking process that I use is bubble map. Not the students to use it, but it is a way the teacher gave clues. and the students is able to think, pair, and share their ideas with each other. So here comes the pre-lesson stage. And firstly, teacher greets the students, like, "How are you today? What are you doing in your weekend?" And the teacher asks students whether they have their favorite sports. If there are, what are they? And next, students share their favorite sports with each other. And number 4, teacher plays a video clip to activate the atmosphere and let the students be interested in this topic. Teacher introduced the topic of a class. So let's look at the video clip. We just look 1 minute of the video clip. Okay, anyway, it is the extreme sport clip for students to watch so that it will activate the atmosphere and let the students be interested in this topic. And next is our lesson. First, we have pre-writing stage. By using brainstorm, make students come up with some words or phrase about sports, such like your favorite sports player that or your favorite sports. Students can say badminton, basketball, football, or else, and form groups of 4. Ask students to introduce their favorite sports to their group members with the given clues. I use the bubble maps clues to give them clues. I will write this bubble map on the blackboard when I teach, so that students could interested in this bubble map and they can easily understand the clues. It is clear. So each group members will introduce their favorite sports based on these given clues. This not only improve their speaking skills, but also it close the relationship between the classmates so that they can know each other better. And for the intermediate levels, students will try to use some of the clues. In other words, they can choose some of the clues to introduce rather than all clues, and the teacher may give them more details or tips about the topic so they are capable to do it. Such like teacher could give them more clues, like, do you have any favorite players, or do you know which players when you watch the Olympic Games, or which country he is, like this. And for the advanced students, these students needs to try to use all clues or even add other clues. In other words, they need to use all clues to introduce their favorite sports. And it is a writing stage. It takes about 15 minutes. So we need to ask students to organize a sentence based on the given questions like, what sports do you like? What's your favorite sports? And why? How often do you do it? Who is your favorite player? Why do you like him or her? So students need to organize a sentence like, my favorite sport is blah 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 blah, and my favorite sports is because is blah blah blah, and I do it once a week, and so on. I like him because he is very successful, or something like this. Just a very short sentence, and they need to share this sentence with the class. And what's more, teacher guides them the art of writing by asking questions. In other words, the student teaches them how to answer these questions in writing or using some appropriate conjunctions. So students are given 10 minutes to write a short essay based on the above questions with the appropriate conjunctions. They need to make the essay very fluent. And here is different strategies for different levels. For the intermediate, students need to try to complete it in the given times, because in my opinion, the time is a little tense, so maybe they cannot complete it on time. So maybe we can give them more time. And what's more, students answer all questions as much as possible. I list 6 questions to them to answer the questions, but maybe they cannot use all of it. And for the advanced students, they need to use advanced vocabularies, conjunctions to make the essay fluent. And what's more, they need to add other questions into the essay properly. So here is the writing stage for the different levels, and the requirements is 80 to 100 words. Here is the rewriting stage. It takes about 10 minutes to complete it. After students write their stage, there must exist a lot of problems, like it is not fluent, or the grammar is wrong. So I list the requirements for them to self-check. One is, do you use the tense, spelling, punctuation correctly? Is your composition complete? Is your composition coherently written? Can you describe it clearly? Are there any complex sentences in your composition? So the students need to rewrite their essay based on these requirements. This is the self-check stage. After they complete this, the teacher will check and give some suggestions for them. The teacher will comment on 2 essays from a student with a good foundation and a student with a medium foundation. According to the above writing standards, Teacher comments on the textual structure and the synthetic functions of two acids in details. So in other words, teacher needs to compare the different stage acids and give some suggestions. Why this is a good acid and why this is a normal acid. So for the different level, we have different strategies. For the intermediate level, the students could assist or tutor those students who have difficulties in rewriting or give them more time to complete. And for the advanced students, they need to try to complete all the requirements because they have higher ability to do this. Here comes the post-lesson stage, and it takes about 10 minutes. The purpose of this is to improve the accuracy of the language in written expression and to improve the ability of students to solve problems by themselves. So this is the aim of the class. What's more, the teacher asks students questions about the lesson of the day, and the students answer the questions orally. And what's more, they need to share with class what are their favorite foods and the reasons. I think they are much more fluent than before because they have already write and rewrite the essay. And the last, teacher sums up the lesson and asks whether they have questions. And writing is a very good assessment to evaluate students because this is the way to apply, to integrate. If we ask them whether you understand it, the students may say, yes, of course, but writing is the only way to check whether they are capable of these skills. So I encourage more students to write. So I think that's all for this lesson plan. Thank you for watching.